Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining me, I'm Suhani and I share beginner friendly tutorials to help you build confidence in R and data analysis. In my last video, we explored the fundamentals of R like vectors and variables. Today, we are going to focus on a key building block in R, data frames. Data frames are incredibly useful when working with datasets in R, and understanding them will unlock a lot of data manipulation power. So let's just jump in. What is a data frame? A data frame in R is like a table made up of rows and columns, where each column holds a data of a single type like numbers, characters, or logical values. But different columns can have different types. So let's just create our very first data frame using some sample student data. So we're gonna add a comment creating a data frame with student data. Now let's initiate it. We're gonna use data.frame to create a data frame. We're gonna add a column called name and add values in it like Alice. Let's add ages. Now we'll add score for each student. Let's just say 85, 82, and 79. And run it. And then let's print. And now let's print. So as we can see, we created a data frame which is a table with name, age, and scores of the students. Once our data frame is ready, the next step is learning how to work with it. So let's start with accessing a specific column. Suppose if we want to access a column name, say students name, we got all the names for the students. Now let's just say when we want to access the first row, so we are gonna write students and define the row, which is row 1. Now let's just say we want to access the second column instead of row. Students comma 2. So as we can see, we have accessed the second column, that is the age. Filtering data is also super important. Suppose you want only students who have scored above 80. So let's just see how we can do that. filtering for students scored above AE. Let's just name it as high score. High scores. Students select score should be greater than 80, comma, and now let's print this. We have this as high scores. So we have got Alice and Mary, which have both scored above 80. And just like that, we've filtered our data. So now let's move on to updating and modifying a data frame. So data frames are flexible. You can update, add, or remove information easily. So let's look at some examples. Let's just say we want to add a new column. Let's call this column as passed. We'll see the students who have passed the exams based on their score. So students score, it should be greater than or equal to 80 to pass an exam. Just print and see if we were successful in adding a new column. Yeah, we can see over here 2 students passed because their score were above 80 and 1 failed, and our row was successfully added. Now let's move on to adding a value. Suppose we want to update someone's score. Let's just call it updating instead of adding. Yeah, let's just say we want to update a student's score. So students score. Whose score do we want to update now? Let's just update Mary's score. Mary is number 2, so we'll give the index as 2, and let's change her score to 92. Yeah. Now let's print and see it. Yeah, as we can see, Mary's score is updated to 92, so we've been successful. Let's move on and see how we can remove a column. Let's remove a column. Let's remove the age column. Yeah. Students age, and let's just say we want the value null. Let's see if it works. Yep, we have successfully removed the column age from our data set, from our data frame. This makes a data frame dynamic and adaptable to your analysis and needs while you're performing with an actual data set. Now when we're done with updating and modifying our data frames, let's explore more what we can do. Before jumping into any complex analysis, it's a good practice to understand your data structure. So let me show you some handy functions that we could do within the data frame. Um, let's just say we want to find the summary of our data set. So we could just use the summary function for this data. It gives you the summary of the whole data set. Um, length is length being 3 because we just have 3 rows of data. Class is character and the mode is also character, and since the score is numerical values, it gives the mean, median, mode and quartiles. And for past it's boolean, so it shows that it's like logical, and it shows the number of boolean values in the data set. So false is 1 and true are 2. This is useful when the data set is big and it has hundreds and thousands of values. So by using summary function, it's easier for you to understand what kind of data set it is. Let's just now see the string of a data set. String function shows that this is a data frame which has like 3 observations and 3 variables, and it shows all the variables that we have and the values within it, and it also shows the type. Name is a character, score is number, and past is a logical variable. Now let's find out how many, like, total number of rows in our data set by using nrow function. Yeah, it shows we have got 3 rows. Let's find out the total number of columns in the data set by using ncol function. It shows that we've got 3 columns: name, score and past. These functions help you get a high level understanding before you dig in deeper with a large scale data set. And that's the introduction to data frames in R. With just a few commands, you can create, modify, and explore structured data in powerful ways. If this video helped you, please hit that like button, leave a comment with your questions or thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. In our next tutorial, I'll walk you through how to import and export data in R, which is a crucial step before we can start working with real-world data sets or move into data visualization. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.